Metallica, that's awesome.
Because we love bitches.
Metallica.
Coming soon to this theater.
Hey, Abby, could you bring me the Poem for the Dead hardcover that's in my book bag? Hey, you just bring me the whole book bag.
It's alive. It's moving. It's coming this way.
What is up, everybody? Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of the Horror Movie Club, or what do? We talk about horror movies, bitches. Tonight's movie is Death Machine by one Stephen Norrington. It is the actual film debut of Stephen Norrington. If you don't know who that is, that's the guy who directed Blade. That's also the guy who directed the League Extraordinary Gentlemen movie. And then I think one movie after that, and then he's pretty much vanished. He has evidently quit from the movie making industry, which is a shame because I thought, like, okay, this is going to be one of those guys. Maybe he's not going to be like, the next Carpenter or the next Romero, but definitely like a guy to watch. And this was his first movie. And I remember seeing this and thinking, oh, this guy's going to do some interesting shit because it's very clearly a very low budget movie and it looks way more expensive than it actually is. There's a link below in the description. You can click on that. It will take you to a 100% free, unedited version of the 2-hour director's cut. This was released originally on VHS and on cable at about 90 minutes, I think. And that was cool. But I have to say, this extended version, it's really dope. There's a lot of the stuff that they cut out that's left in this movie is some pretty choice stuff. You can also find it on YouTube if you're afraid of clicking on like a Plex link, because I know some people are afraid to click on like a Tubi or a Plex because they think they have to create a profile or some shit like that. You don't. But you can also find a cherry Blu-ray rip of this movie on YouTube if you just do a search for it. Anyway, we were having a fantastic discussion backstage. We're going to get back into it, but very quickly, let me introduce my co-hosts. My boy, your boy, Matt Burke, looking very young and sexy tonight, if I do say so myself, sir.
What's up, dude? How you doing?
What's up, man? Nice shirt.
Oh, Hellboy. Yeah. Love me some Hellboy. Can't wait for the remake to come out. Hopefully it's good. Don't let me down.
Yeah, I know. Hopefully it's not shit. And then, of course, we got my boy, Preston Acevedo. What's up, boy?
I've always wanted to be on a show with Lars Ulrich from Metallica.
No, fuck Lars Ulrich.
And,
like, yeah,
I didn't know Lars was a Hellboy fan.
Fuck you, bro. Fuck you because of that fucking extra bullshit.
Now, I have one thing to say. As far as Brian, like, you have to do a better presentation than just sitting in your living room. Like, you have to have some scenery, maybe a top hat, some Crypt Keeper vibes going on or something like that.
I had my toy collection, but I
yeah, sombrero, like an evil sombrero. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm working on it.
Like a Mexican wizard. You should look like a Mexican wizard.
Look, this place is coming along.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, and I could definitely present a better visual. I always used to have my toy collection. I don't have my toy collection anymore, unfortunately. That got lost in the move.
Really? I thought it was locked up in its store.
No, I mean it's in a place where I'm never going to be able to get. I'm never going to be able to get to it. Oh, but this space right here on my couch. This is the insert cat here. space. That's still empty. So as a big sad, once I get my, I just ordered a new computer. Once I get a new desk and a cat, then everything is going to be copacetic. Then I'm going to be like back to like the old me. And then, and I'm being very rude to our guest, Hart D. Fisher. What's going on, man?
Dude, things are pretty
What's
good.
going on?
I've been finishing a lot of the old publishing projects, and I've been airing like so much new content for the American Horrors channel, and our worldwide reach is really bouncing up. You know, we lost a lot of viewers when we did the reboot last year, and now it's all coming back.
Nice.
And really exciting, and we've got a lot of new stuff happening. We've got some shows in development. We'll see what happens with the individual producers. And I finally got my copies of Poems for the Dead, the hardcover. Nice. This is my first collection of poetry with artwork in there from Jill Thompson of Death and David Mack, Kabuki, tattoo artist Bob Vessels from Los Angeles. So many great people contributed to this, and it's my first hardcover. And this is the limited signed edition, only 150 copies. So I got my first batch, and I've been signing them, getting them out. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to say the Big Book of Dahmer is at the printers. So I finally got that damn thing finished for the Indiegogo crowdfunder. It's at the printers, and we're going through the process of like seeing the proofs and making sure it's all printed correctly. And so that's going to be shipping soon. And then I'm going to be able to finish the Bill the Bull omnibus.
I was sure about that. Like Bill the Bull. Like, when is that coming? Because you teased us with that on Kickstarter.
The Dahmer book was 138 pages, and I was involved in recorrecting all the artwork that's 30 years old for every page. And that's a lot. So with we're talking about 354 pages, same kind of thing. So I'm taking a couple weeks off from all the graphic design work to just work on American Horrors and the returning American Horrors Film Festival here in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. And then in May, actually about halfway through April, I'm due to be back on Bill the Bull, and that's my only publishing project that I have to finish. So I'm going to be on that motherfucker. I got a new scanner. I've got some different techniques. I'm going to rescan a lot of the artwork, because to me, it's key is making sure this stuff looks good, you know, to make sure that this art is properly represented. Everybody who worked on these books put in a lot of hard work, and I want to represent that work with how good it looks. And the Dahmer book looks fantastic. The Big Book of Dahmer, you could pre-order on Indiegogo.com. It's up there now. You could Big Book of Dahmer. You could get your order in. It's all still available. And for Bill the Bull, dude, the art is looking so good. Oh my God, because I learned so many tricks correcting the art and talked to so many other people. So now I'm bringing that all into Bill, and it's looking fantastic.
Nice. All right, like with Bill the Bull, like that was before computers and stuff. That was like printer plates, right?
Honestly, like guys, when I first started doing Bill the Bull, all the graphic design was cut and paste.
Yeah, exactly.
I had an Amiga. I had an Amiga 2000. You know,
oh my God,
I couldn't believe it when we took over for Danzig, and
when MS-DOS,
we had like this early Mac, and we're trying to scan in these Simon Bisley paintings.
Jesus Christ, good luck at that.
And scan in the other half, and then assemble them in Photoshop. And
oh my God,
for the renders, man. So now these kids have no idea what it was like to have like Echo knives and glue, and you're slicing things out to put like Zipatone on it and put all these different kinds of sheets on it. So I'm taking that artwork from that era and updating it digitally and correcting the artwork and making it pop as good as I can. It's going to be printed on good paper. So these books have never, ever looked so damn good. I'm really proud of them.
Great.
I'm excited for Bill the Bull. I can't wait to
I'm definitely going to be into Bill the Bull. When
get my fucking filthy.
Did you start the campaign for that yet?
Bill the Bull, I did. I'm actually, I believe.
That I think
I'm 3 years late, guys. I think I'm 2 or 3 years late on getting Bill the Bull out. I believe that's how long ago I did it.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
a year late.
We ran.
So
I did it in the summer of 2021.
Oh shit! Yeah. So it got funded.
Oh yeah, it did. It got funded. The problem was I had to move twice in a year. I dealt with floods. I would sit from the house I was in had terrible mold problems.
Life.
Everybody in the house, it made them sick. My cats were sneezing every time the air vac came on, you know. It was really bad. And then I moved into this other house, and I thought I was going to be fine, but it was about 2.5 blocks from the FM radio tower. It had flooding problems. I got flooded 4 times in one summer and lost $5,000 worth of collectible Boneyard Press comics that you could never replace due to the flooding.
Well, when you get it done,
Raven's Wings #2 from Gerard Way from My Chemical Romance.
When you get the printed copies, let me know. I'll go ahead and shoot some cash to go ahead and get a copy.
On Raven's Wings?
No, when you get like Bill the Bull,
yeah,
finished and ready to go, let me know.
Every year, I always launched all the Boneyard Press projects in May. So the very first Boneyard Press book came out in May 1991, the Dark Angel book with Bill the Bull. And so for me, and I was doing Bill the Bull in high school. So it's a labor of love. And I went through the darkest projects first, an American Horror Story, which was about my girlfriend's murder. And the crazy shit going on in the courtroom and the
just to get
show.
that out of the way. Right?
Homes for the Dead. I went right into that one, which is my insane poetry. And then I went into the damn Dahmer book and writing all that shit because that was a really bad time of my life. So I just went through head fuck after head fuck. And I got EMF poisoning. EMF really affected me from the FM tower. I was sitting there with a buddy of mine who was in the Navy, and that was his name.
That's really dangerous. Like there's a radiation that comes off that shit.
It fucked me up. I had heart palpitations. I was having problems with eating. I couldn't focus. I couldn't think. I was waking up every hour and a half.
It fucks your brain up big time, dude. Like
seriously. It was bad, and it fucked with the Wi-Fi in the house.
Yeah, so that and being under those fucking power towers, like that'll fuck you up.
So
and if you need a loan or something like that, like Lars has that Metallica money, like he can just shoot it right over to you.
Well, I moved and now I'm in a new place, and the place I'm at is not like being bombarded by an FM tower, and it's kind of cool. And I've been able to like get my health under me. And guys, I've gotten 3 publishing projects done in less than a year. So I can take those lessons and experiences with print on demand, and I could really do my labor of love, which is Bill the Bull.
I really need to get into the print on demand thing too. Look, here's the thing. Don't feel bad because life happens, right? Yeah. So you had disaster upon disaster upon disaster. So did I, right? Last 4 years have been fucking hell. But, you know, it's like... I got to admit, losing my mother, you want to tell...
I wasn't being honest about my depression. I was depressed after my mom's death. So I went right into the whole thing, and I was trying to like celebrate, like my mom helped me do Bill the Bull and was instrumental in helping me do the comic book company. So she died in 2021, and I wasn't even counting on how much it impacted me and fucked me up.
You know, and like in my family, my mother was the only one that believed in me, and was like, "I know you're gonna do it. I know you're gonna do it." And I'm happy to say it's like she was like, you know, in like the late stages of Alzheimer's, but that part where like they come back for minutes at a time. And so suddenly she'd be back and I'd be like, Mom, the comic book, you know, the comic book thing I was doing? Yeah, it's selling. People are buying it. She's like, no way. And I'm like, yeah, no, you believed in me. And yeah, it's coming true. And then, you know, she'd be, you know, happy for a second and then she'd be gone again.
My family, like, they believed in me too, but they used reverse psychology, you know? So they were like, you piece of shit. Like, you're going to fail.
That was my brother and my father. That was
horrible my fucking artist.
Seriously, my family was behind me, man. My family backed me. My father, my mother, my brother was, and they were part of it. You know, they got to be there. And, you know, guys, the Dahmer controversy hit really early in my career. Like, okay.
We were really young.
I'm in college.
I remember seeing you like on fucking like.
I remember that too. Like, what was it? Like Laurie or something like that? Yeah, Sally
like
Jesse.
Gary Springer, Sally Jesse.
I remember that too.
I never was on Geraldo.
Okay, then I can't take you seriously.
Yeah, right. And so like that shit hit really early. Like it was.
I was making a reference to tonight's movie where he's like you know, Oprah. No way. This is Geraldo.
There's a lot of references.
Put it in perspective, you know, Brian. I'm, you know, in college. I'm a bouncer at a bar. I'm training for my black belt. I launched my first comic that I write, draw, ink. You know, my girlfriend letters it. I'm living in a basement apartment. My landlord is a midget that lives above me, like an actual
That's
midget.
fucking awesome, dude.
Is he friendly?
What did you say?
Great landlord. He was great guy. And I had this giant stereo, and I'm drawing these horror comics and drawing the first Build a Bull stories for print. And I've got my stereo blasted, and he'd be calling me up because he collected little figurines, all these little Jesus figurines.
And they kept falling off of his.
They were on every flat surface in his apartment. So
oh no!
I just pictured them vibrating to be like, Art, do you have a live band playing in the basement? Is that a live band down there? Could you turn down the music a bit? Yeah, I could do it, Craig. No problem. Okay, I'm sorry.
Right.
I can just picture them like a vibrating hockey game. All the Jesus moving around.
Funny,
he's sweeping up the left side. So I did that shit in 1991, meaning
amazing.
I was 22.
Oh, I wish I'd been that happy.
And then I'm 23
but
years
you've had a
old
fascinating life, dude.
It's like a baby.
The drummer thing hit. And
I mean, it's just like that was like the start of things, and then just your life gets stranger and more interesting. Your story just gets stranger and stranger and more interesting. I wish I was hanging out with the people that you were hanging out at that age. Like any kind of success that's ever come to me is just like now, right? And it's small success, but at least it's something, right? That I feel like is building, because you know what? There's something in the air. Everybody in my circle seems to feel the same way, which is this year, 2024, let's go. Do you know what I'm saying? You're going to be coming out with how many books? How many books are you coming out with? I
had 3 come out.
That's amazing. This year, I'm going to have 6 Gun Gorillas issues 9 and 10. The trade paperback.
We got to do a 6 Gun Gorilla crossover with Build a Bull.
Sold.
We need to do it. We got to do it.
Sold.
Because I'm going to get down to this done, and then it's going to be new Build a Bull stories.
Oh, that's it.
You know I'm down.
Well, we got Max DeVille from Atrocity Press on board. He's the first guy I hit up to have Build a Bull, because what I'm going to do is with the Boneyard Press characters, what we're doing is we're advancing the needle. All right. Nobody ever does this. Yeah. The new books, they're 20 years later. Everybody's older.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Everybody's fucking older. Okay. Babylon Crux has been 20 years.
Great.
Way more interesting.
It's been 20 years. And during the time, I will say this, that Build a Bull becomes a private contractor for the U.S. military in Iraq.
Oh, okay.
And Max
That's
DeVille
awesome.
from Atrocity. Yeah. Max is an old friend of mine. We've been friends for a long time. And he's grew up reading Build a Bull, and he's going to write about Build a Bull in Iraq. And Max is an Iraq war vet.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
So he's going to write the real
awesome.
shit.
So he'll actually be able to make that shit authentic.
And I told him I'm going to back him up.
I want you take something like that and you make it authentic. I'm sorry?
I want the characters to talk the way the soldiers talked in Iraq for real.
Right.
No censorship, no bullshit. I want the real thing.
Yes.
You know, like what was that comic book? Larry Hama wrote the NAM for Marvel.
NAM? Yeah.
That's the thing I love. It's like no matter like your project, no matter how weird or crazy it is, play it straight, take it seriously, and it will be 100 times more fun than if you were just like, wink, 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 nudge, nudge, nudge.
Well, you want to write to the book that you want to read.
Yes.
My philosophy at Boneyard is I'm creating the comic book that I would like to read. And people are like, well, why would you make this? I wanted to read it. Or I needed to work something out of my system. As an artist, sometimes I got to work something out of me and like get it out of me.
Yes.
You know?
That's what Devils is all about.
This is like, we're talking about this backstage. I might as well make the official announcement. I made it on the Twatter. Preston, this very, very, very sexy man right here. And yours truly will be doing a Tari Tsurugi, the Street Fighter comic. Now, if you've never seen the Street Fighter movies, what are you doing with your life? Seriously, you've never seen the fucking Street Fighter movies? Get with it. You can find these on
the character's called Tari Tsurugi.
Tari Tsurugi. Gosh. These movies are fucking awesome. If you've never seen them, they're fucking amazing. And I was watching these the other day, and I was thinking, like, holy shit. Preston and I, we were talking. I know he's been wanting to do a martial arts comic. He's been wanting to do like a kung fu comic.
When I was a kid. like every Saturday, or was it Sunday? Like after the cartoons were over, it was Kung Fu Theater. I'm saying, dude, and like Hart, do you remember Kung Fu Theater at all?
Totally.
Like it was,
Totally. I remember
it was like two back to
Brothers,
back, like
motherfuckers, Shaw Brothers.
Well,
it was all Shaw Brothers and stuff like that, dude. It was
the
great.
actor that plays the Street Fighter. Okay, I'll just out myself. My late wife Waka was Japanese from Japan. So
Nice.
Oh yeah, we knew that.
Japanese wife that loves this stuff. I was able to take, with her guiding me, a deep dive into Japanese cinema, and I already had a love for it before I met her. Takeshi Miike is one of my favorite directors, and so is the director of Battle Royale. I've been hitting this pen, so I can't really.
No, I'm right there with you, brother. I'm right there with you. So anybody, if I need to be director,
he directed Battle Royale, but in the 60s and 70s, he did this great Yakuza film series called Battles for Humanity or Battles of Humanity.
Yes,
and
I think I remember that.
Yeah, those are awesome
huge for me.
Awesome. All the
Japanese cinema,
Japanese cinema from like the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s slaps.
We've been playing on American Horrors a bunch of really cool yokai movies. It's called Yokai
Monsters,
Warfare.
Right?
And we've been playing like 100 Monsters and Ghost Attack. And
I want to do that movie on this stream so bad.
We've been doing that on American Horrors. I don't really want to name it because it kind of, then people go look for it and they could find it on YouTube. But I'm saying on Sunday nights, I've been playing this really cool 80s werewolf show on the network. And I went in and I corrected the color as best I could. But it's got this great time.
Oh, wait a minute. I know which one. Is that the one where this old man was like
Chuck Connors is the villain.
Chuck Connors.
Yeah. And they, like those werewolves, like they had a hump on their back because that's where the oxygen tank was because the gases. I remember that. Dude, I love that show. That show is
on Sunday nights after
The problem with this is why Werewolf sucked. It's because they turned it into the Incredible Hulk.
It was the Incredible Hulk. Honestly,
I watched every
episode. Brian sitting there with it on the network and watching every episode in sequence every Sunday night in the context it was meant to be seen. It's grown. Like it does totally Bruce Banner on the road. It's totally ripping off the original Hulk. But it grows into its own thing outside of that. It really does. And it develops its own cast of characters. It takes the skeleton and goes into a different direction. And actually, the shows are getting better and better every episode. I wish that they'd done a second season.
It was good, dude. I liked it.
Look, I was disappointed it didn't get a second season. I was disappointed that Kolchak the Night Stalker didn't get
I know. Darren McGavin.
Yeah, even though the monsters, some of the special effects weren't up to par, right? Which is what I think killed that show. I would have loved to have seen a second season. Would have loved to have seen the second season of Werewolf. There's a bunch of shows,
Sable reminded me of, it was like a beta version of X-Files. You know what I'm saying?
What I would say about Werewolf and why it didn't get renewed is there used to be a great series that talked about why these popular shows did not get renewed, all right? And so in the business, everybody goes, oh, why is Hollywood so bankrupt? Why don't they have new ideas? Blah, 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 blah. And I was parroting that speech to some professionals in a meeting trying to get a movie made. I can't remember if it was DreamWorks or Dimension. But the person goes, no, Hart, they're not doing it because they're bankrupt of ideas. They're cheap. All the licensing is in place. All the trademarks are in place. The reason you keep getting a reboot of Nightmare on Elm Street is because they own it already. They don't have to do a name check or a trademark anything. They can regurgitate Chucky. Chucky.
10 years ago.
You would do the exact same thing if it was your money.
5 years ago. It was 5 or 6 years ago. I was involved in
of why I'm reprinting the Boneyard material is threefold. One, I want it back in print. I want it back in print. I want fans now, instead of having to cough up $1 gazillion on eBay, I want them to have a cheaper access to good work that my people did too. I want to get it ready to present to film companies and video game companies. 3, it's already paid for. It's already paid for.
Right.
8 years ago, I was involved in something called Invasion Oz, right? And it was zombies invading the Wizard of Oz. Yeah.
Oh wow.
And so they were shopping it around, and one of the guys involved in the project.
Okay.
One of the guys involved in the project was the producer and creator of Heart to Heart. You know, the old TV show Heart to Heart.
Oh yeah,
I watched it.
Yes.
Gorgeous.
Well, when they shopped it around, they said that all the companies they weren't interested in any projects that had an artist attached to it. You know, as far as a creative, because
artist.
like
That's
they wanted me to be work for hire and not this is after we already signed all the contracts. Like, so I was already attached to the project. Yeah.
Nice.
And they had a huge problem selling it as, you know, for television show, movie, whatever, because they were saying like they didn't want to pay dividends to, you know, an artist. I don't know why. I don't know what was the big thing about that, but it was crazy at the time. You know,
That's Simon Bisley.
That looks like Bisley.
Really looks like it, doesn't it?
That totally looks like Bisley, or the artist of martial law.
Early Bisley. That looks like early Bisley, dude.
And that's the thing about this movie. I don't know if
I wouldn't even call that early
will
Bisley.
agree with
Slane
me
looked
here.
better than that.
I don't know if you guys agree with
Slane
me
did
here,
look better than that.
but Death Machine feels like a 2-hour issue
2000
of
AD.
2000 AD.
Yeah, totally. I was thinking the same thing.
Right? Like the
does,
entire movie
yeah.
just feels like it's a 2000
Like
AD.
ABC Warriors.
Like that's the guy who should have done the fucking Judge. This is the guy who should have done the Judge Dredd movie.
Yeah.
For
Well,
sure.
they're obviously influenced by it because you can see in the costumes of, was it the AHR guys that show up at the very beginning of the film?
Like the Unisols, basically.
They had a really interesting dynamic to it with the set design. They had really good use. Like, one of my problems with Netflix and their sci-fi original shit is, guys, it takes more than a couple of neon lights on the side to be a set design.
Yeah, no
I'm tired of seeing bare fucking colored fluorescent bulbs
Runner
everywhere. Jagoffs. It's fucking cheap.
Look,
Look at this Death Machine. Their set design is fantastic.
I mean,
even you could tell that when they're running down the halls, and we know the Hollywood trope, especially if you're a filmmaker, the notion of like, just like the hallway a little different. It's the same set. We're going to run you up and down, back and forth, over and over, this way, that way. We're just going to change the lights a little bit, the camera angle a little bit. But you're running up and down like the same set, and they made really good use of that kind of thing.
Looks like Drew Struzan actually did a movie poster for Death Machine too. Like,
sweet.
Well, maybe that's him, because I mean,
no, that's not Drew Struzan. What you got up there?
Do you think this is Bisley? Because I've searched the photograph.
I don't think it's Bisley at all.
Find his,
no,
I can't.
It looks very Bisley. There's something off about it though. It's not.
There's a lot of people that painted like Bisley, like they want to be. That could even be like a rip of the artist that did the original Guns N' Roses album.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
You know, the monster.
Right. And you understand it too. You understand
about,
right?
Oh yeah. The Appetite for Destruction album.
Yeah, the Appetite for Destruction album, the original cover that they banned.
That was a stoner artist that did that.
This monster.
Yeah. I remember that guy, dude. It's all airbrush tape and masking and all kinds of shit like that. It's very complicated.
Yeah, one of the things I always do on this stream, and I know Matt loves this, like we're a comic book stream as well as like a horror movie stream.
As the viewers just found out.
Yeah.
Right.
So, you know, I'm not an artist, I'm a writer, but, you know, my homeboy is Matt, my homeboy Sim, my homeboy Preston, they're artists. And I'm very jealous of the things that they can do. And I just love I know that they're going to appreciate seeing all the different posters, because that's one of the things I love too, is alternate posters for movies. Some of them are old, some of them are new. This, for instance, this must have been probably like it's in English. I'm thinking like the only place I could see them using this as a poster is France.
It says it's the UK quad poster.
I could see this in the UK because it looks like the 2000 AD line of comics.
Exactly.
I'm looking at it on Cinematerial, and it says it's the
this
UK.
Could easily been like, what's his name? Cam Kennedy? Could have easily been him painting this.
It says it's forbidden to reproduce or some shit like that. It's like crazy.
I think that, because I've never read like a Cinema Fantastique article on the making of this movie, it's very obscure. It's widely overlooked and wrongly so. And that's why normally when I pick a movie for this stream, I try to make it something that people have been sleeping on.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I got to admit, I want to thank you, Brian, for the Dawn of the Dead extended mall hours thing. I wanted to watch that and be a part of that show, but goddamn, dude, I watched it with my lady, and we made some popcorn, and dude, it was so good. It was really, really good. I've never heard it with that Goblin score.
Here's the thing about that cut of Dawn of the Dead. It's not the version of Dawn of the Dead that is for new people, right? Like if you're going to show somebody Dawn of the Dead for the first time, what do you show them? You show them the director's cut, which is the theatrical cut.
Right.
No, honestly, Brian, I showed that was my girl's first time seeing Dawn of the Dead, and it worked good. It was fine. It was perfect for her. It was her entry into it.
That's amazing. Dude, I mean, the idea of, to me, that's like sitting down and watching The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly with somebody that's never seen it before. Right? It's like one of that's on like the same level.
I've never seen it in that kind of widescreen. I grew up with it on VHS.
Of course.
Yeah. And so that was my first time seeing. I've got a pretty decent TV. I've got one of those curved screened 65-inch Samsungs, and I like that a lot, and I like it very much. And so this is my time. For me, was like so many good memories and stuff of this film and my friends enjoying it, and also seeing like it was a masterclass on why George Romero is such a damn good director.
Oh,
he had such a great eye for where to put the camera.
One of the great American filmmakers.
He really is. His directing on that is so top notch. It's not just the effects or, oh, look, they're ripping out guts, but it's his camera placement, where he decides to put his eye is so good and so assured.
He's also an actor's director. Very like Romero and Cronenberg. They never get the kudos that they deserve for being
Cronenberg does.
Directors.
Cronenberg gets it. He's made enough weird sexual films with Spader and stuff. So
yeah, I guess. Well, Romero. Everybody was like kind of sleeping on him until he died, right? And now people give a fuck. So
people who knew. Mainstream media didn't really know, but he kept making films. He kept doing films, and like this Death Machine, I recognized a lot of the actors from it. Like I recognized them from some of the movies we play on American Horrors. And when I was watching it with Abby, I'm just going, man, I could totally see this on American Horrors.
Yeah, like Richard Brake.
Oh, dude.
I don't even know who
seeing him so young, man.
I don't know who has the rights to the film.
All the actors in here had cool names or like movie director names, like Scott Ridley.
Oh yeah,
Sam Raimi.
That's one of the things. Now, normally, I really hate it when films do that. I really do, or comics or whatever, right? I hate it when they do that because it takes me out of the story. I'm suddenly disinvested from that world. Do you know what I'm saying?
I feel that way when somebody takes a film score and uses it in a modern film, because I have all these emotional cues from knowing the film score from the previous film. It's one of the things that drives me nuts about Tarantino. I like Tarantino, but he drives me nuts with it.
Can't stand him.
But then he'll do Django, and I love what he does with the music.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not saying that Tarantino's a no talent. I will just say that he is a collage artist. That's how I think of him. Anyway, like I'm not a fan. Let me put it that way. But I wouldn't say he's a no talent either. This is a pretty cool poster. This is fan art. I didn't like the last by the amount of fan art I found on DeviantArt for this movie.
That would have been sick, dude. I think this would
go.
You
gotta admit that monster is really terrifying. You gotta admit that notion. It's a very scary thing, and it definitely has all the elements of RoboCop. It has the elements of Alien. It has the elements of
Hardware.
Of Die Hard.
Somebody was definitely into heavy metal at the time.
Well, I kept thinking that Brad Dourif was very, very grunge. I thought he was more grunge than metal.
Well, I mean, he's just a freak. He's just like a fucking maniac. Yeah, no, I knew that like Matt was going to get a kick out of seeing Richard Brake in this. A very
Not
young
a wrinkle on his face. You should see.
What is he normally in? Like, why do I know him from modern stuff? What's
he's in
something
a bunch of
Rob Zombie movies.
So he's in like a lot of Rob Zombie movies. He's in 31.
Yeah. That's what I was about to say.
The movie's fucking slays.
He's kind of like
the guy who creates a Herman Munster and like the Rob Zombie shit version of the Monsters.
I haven't seen that yet. I'll check it out.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's the worst fucking thing I've ever seen.
Okay, guys, the Munsters here. You got to take a step back. Here's the problem with the Munsters. Number one, it needs commercial breaks. Number two, it needs a laugh track.
And it does, and it needs to not have Sherry Moon Zombie in it.
I mean, totally fucked that up, dude.
And I should cut in commercial breaks, and I should put in a laugh track, and you will know that I'm absolutely correct. That show is dead on balls accurate. The Munsters, fantastic. The problem is it needs the laugh track. And needs
Sherry Moon Zombie
break.
out of the movie.
It also needs a really good director and
every time that
he nailed it.
And the cast, like actually,
they took it out in the back alley, but he nailed it. It's missing the laugh track.
Dude, he was totally off. That was the worst fucking thing I've ever seen before in my life. The actors he had, with the exception of Sherry Moon, I didn't think she was good at all. I thought the rest of the actors were right on. I don't know where this werewolf came from. I'm like, what the fuck is this all about? I was like, that's crazy, dude. The colors wasn't bad. You know,
watch the Monsters.
The script was horrible.
I have had drinks with Billy Patrick. I have had fun with that guy back in Texas in the 90s at these comic conventions. Dude, reimagine it with the laugh track and commercial. I'm going to do it. I'm going to have to fucking just record it and fucking cut it. You might don't have the imagination.
I'm kind of feeling like you're trying to get somebody to do a Bill the Bull type movie.
Every X amount of minutes, it's got to go to commercial and come back. Because if you watched those original shows cut together with no goddamn laugh track, you'd be yanking your balls out.
That or like a better script. Like it's
those scripts are terrible. They're terrible. It's like when people want to argue with me about the Speed Racer movie. You didn't see the Speed Racer cartoons. That fucking movie nailed it. Even though
I did like the Speed Racer movie. I thought it was a little slow, but I thought it was like everything else was spot on.
How was Racer X? Because Racer X is my fucking boy.
Racer X was pretty good, actually. The actor they had playing Racer X was pretty on.
I don't know why I haven't watched that yet.
Wasn't Racer X in the movie Luke Wilson?
No, he was in stuff. He was in Party of Five.
Yeah,
and
well, he was in Biker Boys too.
Yeah, he was in a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
wasn't he in Lost? I want to say he was in Lost too. Like
he's in a ton of stuff. He's in a ton of stuff. He's not just Owen Wilson's brother.
No,
that is true. That is true. Fellas, really quick, let me run the trailer for
from Trimark.
Yeah, Trimark video.
Chank Industries.
So immediately, like you see, like the little bit of a Blade Runner, right? That look, the future as it's presented in science fiction movies. There's a benchmark, and it's like pre-Blade Runner and post-Blade Runner. This is very clearly post-Blade Runner. It doesn't hide any of its influence. It wears them very much on its sleeve.
Chank Industries, designers of the world's most advanced defense systems.
I understand the deep emotional reactions to allegations of illegal projects.
A corporation.
I remember being annoyed when I found out about this movie too, because I was like, "Oh, this just looks like a big budget rip-off of Hardware," but it's not. If you haven't seen Hardware, by the way, go check that out. That is the superior film in my opinion, but this is still great.
The brink of disaster.
The Hard Man Project just doesn't.
The Hard Man. Sounds like a porno.
Man Project. Think about that for a second.
Commercial.
Yeah.
Blue Chew, the Hard Man Project.
Sounds like a Vivid movie.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's not by accident, because this movie is loaded with fucking satire.
Work. And now, From the hands of a madman.
And then we have the great Brad Dourif as what's his character's name in this? It's here, I'll look it up. It's Jack Dante. Right? Jack Dante. So then there's another reference to another director, Joe Dante.
Right.
From the hands of a madman.
A madman.
Like to feel stark terror.
And he fucking chews up the fucking scenery in this movie. It's like overacting, but it's like deliberate overacting, kind of like what Anthony Hopkins does.
Unstoppable weapon has been unleashed.
Richard Brake just fucking hauling ass with that thing on him, that thing bearing down on him.
The ultimate fighting unit. No mercy, no pity, no fear.
Order to camp.
He's on.
That's a great scene, man, where Richard Brake is just fucking boogieing, and that thing's just crashing through walls to get to him.
Fear.
That's right, because it can smell your fear. That's how it tracks you.
Afraid you are, the sharper its trace.
How are you gonna avoid being eaten alive?
So just from looking at this, what are you seeing? You're seeing Blade Runner, you're seeing Aliens, you're seeing
Terminator,
Robocop, you're seeing the Terminator, you're seeing a lot of things.
Terminator like a motherfucker. That's
Total Recall 2, the memory.
209.
Yes, for sure.
This movie pairs good with Split Second. Like you could have like your own little
Totally,
like fan
dude. I
made
was gonna
fucking
say
like
that.
2000
I was gonna say
AD
that
like
too.
fucking lineup like,
Yeah, man.
they're like a fucking
Yes.
marathon of all these like 2000 AD-esque fucking movies, and that's one
Exactly.
of them.
Oh, I gotta admit, man, when I was a kid and I got that movie on VHS, I kept like playing back the scene with all the fetish kids and all the fetish chicks, all the crazy like S&M shit. I was like, oh, I like that.
And which movie was this?
Split Second.
That movie's awesome, dude.
Yeah, there's
So
two
many, like,
scenes
dirties
where
in
he
that
goes to,
movie.
like this S&M dungeon bar, and it's all
Yeah.
like fetish people. And I think comic books ruined me for life.
Yeah.
Especially the X-Men Hellfire Club, drawn by John Byrne as a big nerd.
Dude, are you guys watching
There's
the new
shit going on in
X-Men
that
movie?
Wanda from Penthouse? I think that's ruined me. So I like all that rubber fetish stuff and all the corsets and all the boots and.
I do have a thing for thigh highs, I will say.
Yeah, dude, yes, for sure.
I can't believe this guy never made any movies after Blade.
I
Like,
know, dude. It's
crazy.
crazy.
Like,
One single
League.
film after Blade?
No, he
I would
did.
have totally, I would have totally wanted to see him do the monsters. Like he would have killed it on the monsters.
No, the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen was fucking dope, dude. He did that one.
Yes, he
That
did.
one was
that.
awesome.
Okay, here's a
One
story
time.
about
League
Stephen
of
Norrington.
Extraordinary Gentlemen?
Here's a story about Stephen Norrington. Here's the
No, did
story
he
about
direct the
Stephen
League of
Norrington
Extraordinary
and
Gentlemen?
why
Did he
he
direct that?
disappeared from cinema.
Yep.
He did a movie called The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Now, I know a lot of people don't like that movie because
I liked it. I thought it was badass, dude.
Yeah, it's
Fucking
fun.
awesome.
I
Always
think
liked
I think it's a lot of fun. I
Yeah,
think
me
it's
too.
really a
So
fun movie.
all four of us on the show agree, great fun movie.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
I think even if they made it now, like how would they make it better? Like
They can't.
However,
CGI.
It's like trying to
fucking-
get
More girl
Vibe looks
bosses.
awesome. They got the tall, skinny
However,
guy from fucking
They need
Transpotting.
more
or whatever.
representation of different races. Even though they have the Indian guy,
There was
Yeah.
so much
They're gonna
fucking like
need,
signatures
no
in there.
white males. No white
Latino
males.
Panther. I don't know. They're going to need.
Tom Sawyer needs to
definitely
be
more
black.
gay stuff.
Dorian Gray needs to be trans.
Alan Quartermain, dude. Sean Connery in there was so good. Fucking Invisible Man.
Well, that
So good.
is the stuff of legend, okay? Here's the thing. When you were working on a movie and Sean Connery was there, he did not suffer fools lightly.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
He would, like his attitude was, I show up, you know what you want me to do, I do it, and I split. And
Something wrong with that.
supposedly, according to Connery, Stephen Norrington was never ready. He never knew what he wanted. That when he would show up on set, he was basically just trying to put it together at the last minute.
Well, some people do that too. I mean, that's
Yeah, but here's the thing: we're talking about like Sean Connery here, right?
Okay.
So
I had read some articles. I mean, I don't know, but I read some articles
for like literally a week's work on a.
Oh no, Brian! I've read about like terrible arguments where Sean Connery's like, "Look, I know what I'm doing. Shut up."
Yeah, exactly.
That in like I think Premiere Magazine was talking about back in the era of Premiere Magazine. I'm pretty sure it was in there, or like it was not just like your usual gossip on a website where. News breaks in 1 hour and 5 hours later everybody thinks they know the fucking story. This came out like major arguments on set with Connery and the director, and I didn't realize it was Stephen Norrington, and I didn't know he quit after this. But then the film didn't perform the way it was expected to. I don't think Connery made any more movies after this either.
He did.
No. Now I will say this: like on Blade, I heard like Snipes had a big problem with the director on Blade.
Really?
He went back and forth like crazy. Like, in fact, he hated him so much that he would.
Goyer when he directed.
No, dude, you're getting the directors mixed up.
It was Blade 3, wasn't it?
Blade 3 with David S. Goyer.
It was Blade 3.
And the director was the usual writer, David S. Goyer.
You're right. Absolutely.
Which was fucking Wesley Snipes over. And the way he was fucking him over was he was like, you know what? I want to do this spin-off of the Blade universe, right? I want to do the Night Stalkers, right? So I'm just
yeah, that's right. That's when they put your boy on steroids.
For my own shit. And so, so Blade was writing bitch in his own movie, right? And that's what Wesley Snipes had.
Well, the movie's bad. The script is bad. It's bad.
It was pretty
Blade
terrible.
3 sucks. And
I did like the Vampire.
The best writer. I think he's a crappy writer, but I really do. I don't think David S. Goyer is as good as his press releases are. I'm not a fan of his. I don't like Training Day. I don't think he's that good. I think he's been riding on the coattails of really good directors that fixed his mistakes.
On Blade 3, that was with Dracula, right? That wasn't with the mutant vampire that killed vampires.
Yeah, it was a Sumerian Dracula.
That was Blade 2. That was Guillermo
Blade 2 that had
Blade 2 was badass.
That's the best Blade movie. And you want to know why that's the best?
It was like Beta Strain right there is what that was.
Well, it's because when he got the job, Del Toro said, I had a choice. I could either make Blade 2, the Guillermo Del Toro film, or I could make Blade 2, the Kick-Ass movie. And he said, I decided to do
the Kick-Ass movie.
Blade 2, the Kick-Ass movie.
It's still a great movie.
In other words, he backed off from it in terms of like putting himself into the film.
That's awesome, dude. No, it was a great movie. I love the vampire in there too.
Yeah,
it was badass.
It's my favorite Marvel movie.
It's the high point in the series.
It was the Strain vampire, right?
Yeah,
pretty much. I mean,
the Reaper.
Yes. And you have Donnie Yen in there. He's only in there for like a second. But
got Hellboy running around there. You got Daryl from Walking Dead running around in there.
Yeah, that movie's fucking dope. Really fucking good. So yeah, when this opens, I have to say I love the opening because it's like,
hey, that's my car from LA.
I think everybody's
only mine was an 83. Same color and everything.
No shit.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
It was my Aunt Ruth's car. I drove it for 20 years almost.
This is a total non sequitur, but Matt's father wrecked 3 Mustangs, I think, in a decade.
Yeah.
Why do I still find that so funny?
See, that's why you couldn't get a good drum set, Lars.
Right.
Yeah, and you have to use a broomstick for a single stand.
He had a good custom Ludwig, actually. My dad is a drummer.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's pretty goddamn funny.
So it's like there's this massacre, right? There's this massacre that's happened.
It kind of reminds me of the opening of Near Dark.
A little bit.
It reminds me of the hotel scene in Near Dark.
It reminds me a little bit of like the Kurosawa movies, like Ron, where you don't see the battles, but you see the aftermath.
I'm digging the soldiers' uniforms. Like I'm thinking those helmets are just badass.
To me, that was very Dune.
Yeah,
I think it looks very 2000 AD. Like,
Judge Dredd.
That's what I'm saying. The guy who did that poster,
it wasn't Bisley,
guys that was working on the art design for this movie.
Yeah,
because it looks and it feels like a 2000 AD comic. And here we have a rogue trooper.
I like this.
That was pretty cool. That was a good build. They set up the build really well. The director and the writer, they set it up like you're like, what the fuck? You're beginning this movie like, what the fuck are they walking into? Why are these guys sitting like, thank God you guys are handling it, instead of the usual you're like, I'm the local jurisdiction. I'm in charge here. Fuck you, federal boys. You got this. It's like, you guys are here. Get in there. And they set it up.
We don't want none of this shit.
Boogeyman. And that reveal of that pounding on the wall that you hear as they're going is so good. It's such a great
trail.
It's
like he's just stuck in a loop.
Such a good job with that.
Yeah. And I like that they say that's the deadliest machine ever. Yeah. He's just like, doosh, doosh.
And they're all scared of it, and it just lost its mind, and the girl's terrified in the corner, and her acting and her being terrified in the corner sells it.
It does. Yeah, she's good, dude. She's really good. They had a bunch of stars in this movie.
Well, I mean, soon.
Great eye for casting.
Really?
Yeah, definitely.
Death Machine.
Oh my God!
Where was this shot, guys?
Fantastic.
Where was this shot? Was this like a New Zealand thing, or
my house?
That's a really good question, and I was wondering the same thing. I think it may have been Australia.
Sure.
And this
when I see that sheriff, I'm expecting like Smokey and the Bandit to come out of somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like,
goddamn, Cletus, get back in the goddamn car!
But there are other countries that can stand in for like other countries.
Sure.
I mean, fucking what's his face? Fucking Stanley Kubrick did that with both Full Metal Jacket and Eyes Wide Shut, because he refused to actually leave like England. And so they had to turn like part of England into Vietnam, and then part of it in London into like New York City, shit like that.
Magic.
They obviously did not have that kind of fucking cash for this. There's no way. There's surprisingly little information actually about this movie. Let's see if I can find like the budget or anything like that. Yeah, there's like very little information on this film. Now I'm wondering, like, did this come out before or after Universal Soldier? This is 94, right?
Yeah.
Because basically these guys are Unisols. Yeah. Universal Soldier was.
Well, here's
92.
the thing too that you got to consider when you talk about like, okay, this movie came out in 94, but that's when it was released. It was conceived and executed. You always got to backdate it like a year or two, especially when things shot on film.
I know. That's why I thought it was bullshit that people were saying that Dredd was a ripoff of The Raid. I was just like, there's no way they would have had that kind of time.
No.
It takes like 3 years minimum to fucking make a movie.
They could probably be, okay, the guy who directed The Raid, he had done some American stuff too. So he was familiar with American culture. So what I would think is that the people that did the Dredd film and the people that did the Raid film were probably influenced by a story we don't know about.
Right.
They were probably both influenced at the same time by the same kind of story and said, oh, how do I adapt this? And there might even be, I don't know, I think there might even be a Judge Dredd story in the comics with them being locked in like that in a block. I'm pretty sure it's in one of the 2000 AD books, that plot.
Yeah, right. Locked in.
I don't know about the slow motion drug part. That seems like an.
I thought that was kind of shitty.
That was for the 3D.
I didn't like that too much.
I remember that was like the main problem with that movie was the fact that they released it only in 3D, and the original title was Dredd 3D.
I was there, man. I saw that shit in 3D. I liked it.
Yeah, me too.
Slow mo.
Was it?
Too.
What was it? A successful movie? Like, I don't know. I love Dredd. I thought it was.
It's the most like.
It didn't work for him. It flopped.
It flopped harder than Conan. I mean, actually, Conan flopped.
But it then became a surprise hit on DVD and Blu-ray.
Yes.
So, in other words, it was like Big Trouble in Little China,
or The Thing,
or something like that.
Blade Runner. Blade Runner.
Yeah, all those movies.
Yeah. Movies that just bombed at the box office, but they find their audiences, and they find their audiences quick. Right? The Matrix, if that had failed at the box office, that would be one of those movies.
Dude, Brian, I think that what happens in Universal Soldier, the Unisols, and this, I think that's like the next step between now and like Skynet, like in real life. Like, I could see this happening in the next 5 years.
Well, look, this is a movie about a killer psycho robot, right? a psycho killer robot.
We got one of those already. We got one of those posing as the president.
No, guys, you can't call it. It's not a human. It's just a robot that's programmed to dice this kind of meat. It's not a psychopath. It doesn't have emotions. It doesn't.
It's a kitchen utensil.
You can't call it a psychopathic robot because it's just a thing. A robot of a machine. Is your Ginsu a psychopath when you used to cut somebody up?
I was making a reference to a line in this movie where they were referred to it as like the psycho.
Let's go back to what you were talking about with Hardware when you played the trailer. Hardware, and what's that director's name? Stanley.
Hardware was awesome.
Richard Stanley.
Yeah, Richard Stanley got bounced out of the Island of Dr. Moreau thing that John Frankenheimer had to take over with Val Kilmer and Brando. Did you
got the private filmmaker there?
I love Hardware, and I think Hardware is a huge influence on this film. You know, with Iggy Pop in it, and they had Lemmy from Motorhead as the taxi driver. They made a fucking best of the world.
My boy Carl McCoy from fucking Fields of the Nephilim is up in that. Do you know? It's got Ministry in it. It's got Guar. Seriously, I did a review of this movie.
Taxi was amazing.
I did a review of Hardware, and I'm telling you, at that moment in time, that year, it had everything that was fucking cool. Everything that was fucking cool.
And another casting, like whoever casted that movie did a fucking amazing job, dude. Like, because all those guys were like, just, they took off later on.
Brian, what do you think about the idea of
the reason why she got the job is because she was the only one that didn't offer to blow it.
Dude,
is that for real?
Have you seen Dust Devil? Did you ever see his follow-up film?
Dude, I got the fucking the 3-disc set from was it Synapse? I think.
Yeah,
like right over there. Yeah, baby.
Brian's like, do I have that?
We should do that for a show. We should do Dust Devil for a show.
Is it is that on any free streaming? It's probably
it's
on.
Gotta be. It's gotta be on something, man.
Yeah, the home video version of that was basically got treated like a Dario Argento movie. That is to say, it had like a half an hour cut out. So it was like a little.
You're saying the cut that you've got on Blu-ray, this 3-disc set, it has like a director's cut?
Yes.
Oh man, I'd like to see that.
And a bonus disc of Richard Stanley's documentaries, about 4 of them. Most of them about the occult in some respect. And the soundtrack by Simon Boswell, who's very active on Facebook, by the way. Fucking love that guy. What was I saying? So it's like immediately
we went to Hardware, and then we went to this, and
we went to Hardware. Oh, that's right, because I was going to look for Dust Devil is what I was going to do. And I gotta play the scene. Pops, I don't know if you're in the house or not, but this scene is definitely.
And hey, guys, this
for
actor,
you, in your honor.
I recognize this actor from this character. Like, what else is he doing? Like,
I've seen him before too.
Big.
Yeah,
he's been a few things.
Young and handsome in this, and then you're used to seeing him like bald and fat.
Something like that. Yeah.
Really, because I've seen him in something else, kind of like this, but he had long hair.
Is that the fat dude from Blow? That's
He's
not
from
him,
The Machinist, The Fifth Element, Love Actually, Lost in Space. I remember Romana Santa, that werewolf movie with Julian Sands. He was in that. If you look him up,
that werewolf movie with Julian Sands is good.
Yes. He's in Dracula 2, Ascension.
I've seen that.
In Do Not Disturb. He's in a lot of shit. Oh, he was in the Red Dwarf TV series as New Lister.
He's a huge Red Dwarf fan. Okay.
Yeah. So, it's not that he disappeared. It's just that he physically changed so much that
you didn't recognize him.
Virtually unrecognizable. Like this character, like I saw him in roles like this era of him, almost kind of like a Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure in a RoboCop suit.
Right. And this is a great introduction. This is a great introduction of the hero shot right here. right? Where it's like you're kind of coming in and
you back it up further? Because what's really good is the whole tracking shot down the truck and watching him walk and his
the rats.
You know what I mean?
The worm's eye.
So if you back it up, the whole shot is really good.
Yeah, I
was thinking it when I watched it the other night. I literally watched this last night, and I'm just going, man, this is a nice hero shot. This is really good. The whole tracking in, because I think this director is also
That's exactly what I was thinking too. It's like this is like, yeah. I was like, take note, hero shot too.
Love the poetry. Sorry.
That's one of the reasons why I'm a Henry Rollins fan, is because I think he has like zero talent, and he doesn't let it stop him. He doesn't let him get in the
way. Get in the Van's a really good book. He knows how to write.
He wrote all the songs for Black Flag, though, right?
I know.
Lyrics are good. I like the albums. I could never say he has no talent. I could never say that.
Nah, I can't do that.
Okay. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh, but you know what
I think.
saying.
I think Brian doesn't like him because of his sexuality.
Henry and Glenn forever.
Yeah.
Henry Rollins is a lot like Rob Halford.
Brian, are you upset that Henry Rollins won't hold your hand?
I said I love Henry Rollins.
You need a hug. You need a hug from Henry Rollins. Do you need a little one-on-one get in the van time?
No, he's all tiny.
Get in the van and bend over.
He's all tiny.
He's tiny now. He looks like
he's like, you know, I got to sling him over my arm.
Henry's not.
Henry Rollins looks like he's fresh out of a trailer park, like cooking up some meth nowadays.
I've met Henry. He's not tiny. Glenn Danzig is a short fella. Glenn is definitely a short Italian man, but Henry's tall. He's not a little fella.
Yeah, he's what I refer to as a little big man.
What is that?
I have no idea.
It looks like a tampon.
I keep looking at him like this. Like a big pen? Right? What are you smoking this with?
And look at that haircut. That haircut's a little crazy too, isn't it? It's like a reverse Mr. T.
It's once again.
No, that's the theater.
It's very 2000.
Right there, the actor with the shaved head is obviously the theater student. Dude, it's a big pen. It's a big pen taped to this prop.
Well, remember when we did Cabin in the Woods? How that like
the flashlight?
Of that is awesome. That the combination
the coffee
/ coffee cup was real and it actually worked, and they spent fucking $5,000 making that fucking thing.
Did they?
Yes.
They spent how much money making that?
$5,000 to make sure that it was worth that it actually.
Got Sweden.
We all know part of why.
If you had that money, you would do the same thing.
Every parasite and tick, and
I heard about that. Yeah.
The director, I won't name him, but they wanted to continue to work with him, so they ate the $100,000 loss.
Wow.
No, don't look so shocked, Ryan, because that was a common thing for a long time. Like, did you for Queen? They never got paid for Queen, and that was like that movie was amazingly popular, you know, and it made tons of money. And they did.
It's also I had an editor friend that had a problem with recipe, and he was known for bilking people and getting new people to come in so that recipe could get these new people to not pay them and get these young editors or young effects people. And it was guy who made all these cheap, shitty direct-to-video movies, tried to put his kid and try to, emulate all that success. I won't mention.
I'm sorry.
Again.
I mean, look, it's like one person that has really great stories is in our scene is Crystal McGee. Like she's seen how the sausage is made.
Who's Crystal
McGee? It is not fucking pretty. Like she's got great stories where it's like she's like a writer and she's just like, wait, but now it's suddenly my job to go and pick up like this drunk, like drug addicted actor from like the airport. You want me to get in a car and go and drive and fucking like pick up the star of the movie? Like just crazy
part
shit.
Of it is Brian. Part of it is the production needs somebody that they have their thumb on who can keep their fucking mouth shut when they pick up dumbass from the airport that's not going to blab everywhere. So they get somebody whose success is attached to the success of the project and the success of the star. That's
it's all about optics.
Oh, I'm sorry. I work in Hollywood. Gee.
Jesus, man. Yeah, no, I've heard the stories, and I have a screenwriter friend, Neil Marshall Stevens. He's the guy that did the 13 Ghosts remake, right? He's the one that shot me. Like when I found out that he had actually written a 50-page draft of a Bub from Day of the Dead spinoff movie that never got made. I was like, dude, like, what do I have to do to fucking get a look at that?
Didn't they make that movie? It was called Chud 2.
Just over here. What was that?
Bud the Chud. Chud 2. Bud the Chud.
Bud the Chud.
They made a horror comedy when they made the sequel to Chud 2.
Yes.
Funny zombie.
Yes, it was.
They did a Chud too?
Yeah, they did. Yeah. And it was meant to be funny.
Yeah,
That's
Bud
crazy.
the Chud. Yeah, it's Chud 2, Bud the Chud.
The Chud movies would be fun to do on the show too. Chud 1 and 2.
Yeah, Chud was horrible. It was horrible in a cult, like cool fashion, you know.
Joe Bob Briggs has a hard-on against that movie because he feels. You know why he hates that movie? Because he feels it's a bunch of like cool New York City actors that are slumming it, making a B movie rather than like people.
Brother's nickname was Chud Boy.
Particularly making one.
No, literally, my little brother Adam has no hair. He has alopecia, so my brother has no hair, no eyebrows, no nothing. So his eyes are like really staring at you. So my buddies in college called my brother Chud Boy.
Oh no! Oh snap!
Look out! The Chud's hungry! Run!
Oh man, that sounds like it would be a hassle.
Well, my nickname was the Delicate Genius, so I don't know who got worse off. On
Delicate Genius.
That or King Foot in Mouth. The other one was Say the Wrong Thing, Guy. Here comes Hart Fisher. Say the Wrong Thing, Guy.
Yeah, that would be me if I had to pick one. Yeah.
Is that why you moved, Brian?
No, no. I moved because my life exploded.
I've been there.
Yeah, so these dudes come in. Great. They're like the revolutionaries. They're trying to strike it at this evil arms dealer company, right? And that's how you know that this is an independent movie. They're the good guys. And yeah, like this dude's frisking Yutani, I think is his name. Get it? Wayland Yutani.
Yeah, Wayland.
And he's like he's frisking Jack Dante here, and just like finds gat after gat after gat.
Did you count them?
Not exactly, but here, let's go.
We did. We counted about, it was like 8 or 9 guns.
2 gats, 3 gats, nunchucks, another gat.
This is one of the crazy movies too.
6.
Another gat. Knife. Shuriken. Shuriken. And a big old Bowie knife.
And his penis.
And a rubber chicken.
Always a rubber chicken.
Good. That's very Svengoolie.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's one of the things about this movie. It really doesn't take itself too seriously.
The dialogue is cracky. The dialogue
it does that in a charming way, I think, because it's very much focused on being fun.
Yeah, definitely. It should,
I think the best part of this movie was when he's waiting there with his hand on his. He's like, "Well, what's going to happen now?" He's like, "Well, you die." And he's like, "No."
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I mean, he's just a complete fucking maniac.
He is, dude. He's badass.
The character's completely fucking insane. And
I think at a certain point,
Brad Dourif,
because there were times where like his hair was totally across his face, and I'm like, that was probably not planned because actors don't normally like having their face covered.
Yes. And you can see him doing shit in this that's obviously improvisational. Like when he runs out of the room going...
I bet you they told him, no, I would bet you anything the director said, you have to hit those light bulbs, because they made sure to cut to the reaction shot to see the bulbs swinging. The director told Brad Dourif to do that. It was not, that was done on purpose. Okay? Yes. Remember, I'm an actual director. Hi, Harjun Fisher from American Horrors.
And we appreciate your input and your expertise, sir.
The other part, guys, is I own my own post-production facility in Los Angeles. So I edited a ton of stuff. Yeah, I did. It was called Crime Pays Inc. And so I had my own post-production facility in LA. So it's not just that I'm a director, I'm a professional editor that had a staff of editors. That's awesome. So I got to see more material than your average director, meaning that when you edit, you get to hear all the direction.
Yes, there is
a reason everything, why. You see every inch of footage. And if you're a director, you learn from everything and you get all this experience. Yes. So when you see a movie, you go, oh, the director told him to do that for sure, because they made sure to get the other cutaway with the bulbs going back. He wanted those bulbs swinging.
And this is why very often editors make good filmmakers. And I was just the other day, and I forget who this was, but there's a particular producer that was like, you know, it's just like get the people that are editing the movies, and then like get them to direct. Roger Corman, I think.
Well, what happens, Brian, is when you're in the edit bay, you can't lie to yourself. You're not in love. You're like, when you're a director, you're fighting from your vantage point to get the film made, and you have a vision, you have a this. But as a professional editor, you're kind of dumped in like you're the quarterback on the team, and you just got traded to the Jets. Holy shit! Now I'm not in Green Bay. I'm with the Jets. Fuck. And so you're going on the fly, and you're dealing with what's in front of you. You're not married to the footage. You're not married to the performance. You're not married to the script. You're just reacting to the footage in front of you. And so once you get that level of a professional eye, it does really change you as a director. And as a director, you know the parts you need to make the movie.
This is why also a lot of directors, George Romero, for instance, they'll edit their own movies.
Well, what Hart's also saying is that the artist has to separate himself from the work. Otherwise, you can't be effective.
Dude, so
same thing with comics. Same thing with novels.
Doc Salem nailed it, dude. Movies. And then the other part I would say is you actually have more experience in making a movie than a director does, because he's going to make one feature in a year, maybe. And then you as an editor, a professional editor, you're on a job for a month, 2 months, then the next one, then the next one, then the next one, then the next one. And it's like a fighter. If you're not in the ring fighting, come on, you've got to be doing it.
It's something I wanted to do. I applied for a job doing it because I knew I'd be great at it, because I was in high school, right? And had been like making and editing my own little movies for a while, but they wanted me to take a drug test. And so, yes, my life took another path.
You're doing heroin or something?
It was all the coke and horrors?
No, they're fucking smoking weed. That's smoking.
I don't think they would have.
Coke and horrors?
I don't think they would have fucked with you on weed. You know, half those dudes smoke pot. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know. This was the fucking early 90s, dude. This was like the early 90s.
A lot of that had to do with insurance too, Doc Salem. Like, a lot of that had to do with insuring things.
Did it really?
Like, drug testing had to do with the insurance.
So as long as you should have got somebody to pee for you and just had a bag.
I was just out of there. So my life took a different path.
You take niacin pills and sit out in the sun, and sweat it out. Back in the day.
It was chemical McCarthyism. Even if I wasn't gonna piss dirty, I just couldn't see myself pissing in a cup to get a.
That sounds like a rap song. Piss dirty.
Look, it's like talk about illegal search and seizure. You want to look inside my body?
That's a band.
Pissing dirty. Pissing dirty.
That's like a little fucking personal. Do you think that's a little fucking personal? It's like,
that'd be a good cover band.
If they can fucking look inside your brain.
That would be an awesome cover band.
Like Stone Temple Pilots.
What about Stone Temple Pilots?
Doc Salem was talking about Piss Dirty, and I'm like, that'd be a great name for a cover band that only did something for guys who had drug problems like Alice in Chains.
Heroin metal.
Yeah.
Piss Dirty. We're going to do Alice in Chains in the box.
Preston, by the way, is... Preston, you gotta start fucking you gotta change your name from Doc Salem to fucking Preston Acevedo.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it eventually.
We gotta remember, man. We gotta rally, bro. We gotta rally this fucking year. We gotta do the fucking.
He's tried really hard to be a Caucasian.
The gorilla thing. We
tried so hard. I want to be a Caucasian so bad. He does not want people to know of his other heritage.
Plus, Preston isn't a very memorable name. I don't think it is.
Why not?
I don't know. It just doesn't
well,
feel
that's because
memorable.
it's your name. That's
Maybe it's because I hear it all the time.
Yeah.
Dude, just put the third at the end. Like, just do your name with
third. There you go. Yeah.
That's the only thing that matters. Is there another person out there called Preston Acevedo? That's like a
Preston Acevedo
or something like that.
Presenting Preston Acevedo the third.
There you go.
Well,
I like that. With a monocle and a top hat.
Yeah.
Like my friend Neil Marshall Stevens, he's got Neil Stevens and Neil Marshall on like either end of it.
All right, you fucker. I'm getting the top hat. I'll be right back. You rant, Brian. Fucking top hat fucking crack.
Rock and roll.
Oh, 1 second. I'll be right back. I got to get something. I got something in the mail.
You got a brother. So Matt, Death Machine. What did you think of this?
Thought it was awesome. I love the use of bigatures and miniatures in this movie. I love the matte painting. You know what I mean? Like the backgrounds painted the way he superimposed the shot. Very James Cameron-esque before he started directing. Like how he painted the backgrounds for like RoboCop and OCP. So very RoboCop and Terminator. Again, 2000 AD, Judge Dredd. You're gonna love this movie. I love the design of the monster. I wish that they brought the monster out a little earlier in the movie because it was so fucking cool. They did such a good job with the robot, the killer robot. Looks so cool. I just wanted to draw it.
I know that monster is amazing, dude.
It just keeps coming and coming, and it doesn't have a face. It's just all teeth and the claws. It just looks so cool. I would love to see a sequel to this. Fuck a remake, just make a sequel. Two Horns Way Up.
Yeah, but it's just like that's like one of the reasons a movie like this has aged so well is because they don't make movies like this anymore. That is to say, there's no fucking CGI in this whatsoever.
It was funny, what Hart was saying earlier, that he's probably a fan of Michael Mann, and I could see it in his fucking movies, man. You can tell, like this shot right here looks like a Michael Mann shot. I don't know why. It just kind of feels like it.
For sure.
The lighting, the lens, all that. Even Blade kind of felt like that.
The lighting's very much like The Keep with Scott Glenn.
Oh, The Keep was amazing, dude.
Yes, actually.
That's another hidden movie. I was thinking of that when we're talking about.
You get a fucking director's cut of that, but Michael Mann is so pissed
about
himself for making that movie. He's keeping it like locked in a vault.
That's retarded. He's fucking amazing, dude.
It's like, dude,
that apocalypse in there, like,
I'm like, get your head out of your ass. It's not about you. It's about the fans. Make a fucking director's cut. Do a fucking 2-hour cut of that.
Yeah, I want to watch
that movie. Was incredible.
Like you were talking earlier, Hart, like Hidden Gems, or mine was, and I was thinking of the Keep the whole time. Like, damn, I want to watch The Keep.
Which one?
I think it's The Keep, right? That's the name.
Yeah, I got to see that.
Michael Mann, right?
Blue Lining is very much like The Keep. And the score for that by Tangerine Dream is pretty evocative and pretty.
Oh, yeah, that's right, dude.
Isn't there a young Gandalf in that movie?
Yeah, Ian McKellen. Yeah, he's in there.
Oh yeah, Ian McKellen. I think he's one of the Nazis.
Yeah, I think so.
No, Ian McKellen is the Jewish guy, the elderly scholar that they need to translate the runes that they find. Right, because if you've read the novel, you'll know that those ruins go back to like ancient Hyboria.
Yeah.
Art, don't look. Don't look.
Don't
look at the scene. Don't look at the set. Don't look at the background. Sorry, Brian.
But no, it's okay.
It's a Netflix. It's a Netflix set.
Oh shit! No,
no, it's got balloons too.
Getting back to the Keep is it's also based on a really good, cool book series by that author.
Amazing. Yeah, I'm a big fan. I'm a very.
What was the name of What was the name of the book series? Was it The Keep or was it?
The Keep
the
part
book?
of the series,
Yeah,
like the
it's called The
Adversary
Keep.
series
It's
or
like the
something?
first
Who's
one
the
was
author,
called
Brian?
The Adversary Cycle.
Who's the author?
F. Paul Wilson.
Yes.
And F. Paul Wilson.
I've got all that guy's books. I've read all those books.
Me too.
What's the name of the main guy? Jack something? The mechanic?
They did the Repairman Jack series.
Repairman Jack, yeah. That'd be
Repairman Jack is part of that universe, so he's in the same universe as the Barbarian.
Yeah.
That Glaken.
Yes.
Right. So because that's another thing, it's like you don't realize that in the Michael Mann movie that like basically Conan. Like for real. I mean, it's dedicated to Robert E. Howard and H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah, the vault is,
right. So he was like, F. Paul Wilson, straight up on some pulp shit. And the interesting thing about him, he's a physician.
We talk
a doctor, a general practitioner.
Wow. Those novels are really good.
It's a hobby for him.
You could find his books at the library too. You could find F. Paul Wilson at the library. That's where I got a lot of mine.
I wonder if they got audiobooks.
Totally. For sure. Oh, for sure.
Dude, they totally have a ton of audiobooks at the library. And in fact, most libraries have a really amazing collection of Blu-rays, DVDs,
they do,
music, and they also have really good collections of like TV series. Like a local library here.
Like they've got I have to go to the library actually to get to see a episode of Starsky and Hutch that had Satanists in it because I was working on this thing Southpaw, and I wanted the Satanists to look like they came out of like a 1970s movie, with the monks' cassocks and the fucking axes and shit. I couldn't find that shit anywhere except at the library. God damn, man. Yes, in a library. So yeah, people don't sleep on that.
I would say that the library is one of the best resources for your average American before the internet. I mean, before the internet, the library was the only place you could go. I was a poor kid on the south side of Chicago. I didn't have any freaking money.
They also, if you got your library card, you can get free movies, streamed to your house.
Really?
Yeah.
They've gone digital. Yes, they've gone digital. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Really cool. Yeah, it's very, very cool. And it's, I can't imagine
old horror
would be underfunded.
I watched the new Exorcist movie because I found it at the library. I was over there looking for the new Lee Child book, and I saw it. I'm like, holy shit, that's the new Exorcist film. And I wasn't going to go see it at the theater, and I grabbed it and watched
that. David Gordon Green, how is that? Because after you realize that after Halloween ends, people want to put hands on him. And,
I would say
seriously.
The new Exorcist film, they're trying to have a little bit of a throwback in tone, but they're limited by their stupidity now. It's yet again another, oh, look, I'm going to have a little girl with her head spinning around. Oh, you know what? We've already had one Exorcist. We're going to have 4. It's going to be multicultural, multiracial, multisexual. We're going to have the Catholic priest. We're going to have the Baptist white priest. We're going to have
do something about that guy.
We're going to have the goddamn hitty voodoo Santeria chick. Oh God, it was bad.
I do not advocate. I do not advocate violence. I do not advocate violence. But David Gordon Green needs to be stopped.
It's not about David Gordon Green. I'm going to say it's Morgan Creek because the original owner of Morgan Creek was one. He watched my movie The Garbage Man about distributing it through Morgan Creek right before he died. Which was. I don't think it killed him. He was already dying, motherfucker. He had a reputation for fucking up the Exorcist films again and again. He did it to the original writer on Legion 3 and made them put in all the stupid effects at the end. He did the same thing to Paul Schrader. Right? He hires the writer of fucking Hardcore and Taxi Driver and one of my all-time favorites, Rolling Thunder, and castrates that version. Hires Rennie Harlan. Who's known for fucking up everything he fucking does.
Yeah. That's why there's
Morgan Creek is the worst company to fucking produce an exorcism film. They're behind that Abortion with Gina Davis. They called a TV series that was utter fucking garbage.
Some people say that was really good.
It was so terrible. sorry, I'm on a total rant. I'm going to shut up.
No. I was curious. Is that worth watching? Because somebody's said that it was worth watching.
I didn't like it.
Your opinion is
The Exorcist,
The Exorcist series
is an abortion walking. It is utter garbage.
It's boring.
I agree. Like, there's nothing good out there. There's very little good on TV or.
But there's so much.
1 and 3 are the best.
Shit, dude.
Yeah, the old shit's where it's at.
Yeah, 1 and 3. I like 3 even more than 1.
Exorcist 3.
Yeah, it's fucking Constantine, dude.
It's
a cold detective, man.
It's fantastic.
Scariest scene ever.
The novel of Legion is so goddamn good, and they skip out the whole notion of it. First, it was William Peter Blatty in Exorcist Legion, the novel, and he's the one that wrote the original Exorcist novel. And the
dialogue for the obscenities, right? Because the obscenities aren't in the original Exorcist novel. William Friedkin had to say, like, well, we need you to write like some obscenities. And he was like, what kind? He was like, the worst. And that's where we get your mother sucks.
Well, in Legion, what I was getting to is the theme of Legion in the novel that's missing from the film is the notion that Lucifer rules the earth.
Yes.
That the earth is Lucifer's playground, heaven is God's playground, and Lucifer's been cast out, and that's part of the whole possession stuff they're dealing with in Exorcist Legion.
Yeah.
And that's left out of from the book to the movie.
Yes. But it is still very much in that kind of a universe.
Oh yeah.
It's still a religious movie. Well, I mean,
Brian, did you see the new Exorcist film?
No, that's why I was asking you. Like
the new one with the 2 chicks. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen it.
The other thing that I had a problem with it was simply all of a sudden they went from the original Exorcist film there was no talk of we're in stage 1, the infestation. Then we're in stage 2, the possession. Now we're in stage 3. And it was like the Exorcist playbook from every other pseudo wannabe Exorcist film instead of adhering to the original Catholic doctrines of the first film.
You see, what Hart just said, like that's a major problem with films nowadays, is that they don't they don't follow the rules of that universe that that they're playing in. I thought it was a good movie, but not as an Exorcist movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it didn't fit with the Exorcist. You know?
Well, I mean, like, look at Exorcist 2, right? Like, Glorious of my love for Exorcist.
We don't have to look at it, do we?
I think that's an incredible film. It's a mess. Well, John Borman must have been on crack when he made that thing.
No, that was
Zardoz. It's a really incredible, interesting.
No, he was on crack when he did Zardoz. That's the film that he was really out there on. Exorcist.
When we covered that movie here, I was explaining to people. There's 2 John Bormans. There's a John Borman that did Point Blank and Deliverance, and then there's the John Borman that did Zardoz and Exorcist 2: The Heretic. It's like one of them is completely fucking bonkers. But that's what I like. I love a director that can just go, you know what? I'm just going to fucking just do something that's going to be completely fucking batshit crazy.
3 in the first one, though, they were just like game-changing next level films.
Yes,
the second one was, like he said, kind of artsy, but out there. You know what I mean?
I love it. I love it, but it's just like at the same time, I think if somebody says that movie's a complete fucking mess, I'm not going to argue with them.
It is, but it's like
sad about the thing with the Paul Schrader film, the prequels, because even like the Paul Schrader version has elements that are great, and then the Rennie Harlan version has elements that are good, and then
I turned it off when we got to the CGI channels. I'm sorry, what did you finish?
I was saying the two films, the Rennie Harlan and Paul Schrader, different versions of the same thing. They're good in bits. They have elements of greatness, but then they collapse upon themselves.
Yes. It's extremely frustrating.
I really liked was the idea of the church that was buried, and you can see that with the temples of Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, that they've discovered these ancient things, and they found that no, this was buried on purpose.
Yes.
Or even the statues on Easter Island, we all grew up with the notion that it was just from the neck up. We didn't know that there was a whole body that was
that's fucking crazy, dude.
Buried them.
Oh, I love it. Isn't it amazing? that they're still.
I want to know what's under that.
We're still finding shit. That it's going to be easier. I mean, man, now that we're getting to the point where we could just kind of X-ray the ground without even digging the shit that we're going to find. Oh my god,
we have been. The whole
Dude, it's crazy.
Underground pyramids, things under the ice.
Oh my god.
Did you see that alien spaceship that they think they found under the ocean? But it looks exactly like the Millennium Falcon. It's the craziest thing.
Dude, I know what you're talking about, Doc. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's nuts.
The Colossus of Rhodes, like not the whole thing, but they found like his feet. And they measured from foot to foot, and they were like, yeah, definitely a ship could have sailed like right underneath him. Right? This is like, oh shit, it's the fucking Colossus of Rhodes. So they're finding shit all the time. And cooler shit.
Yeah, but are they finding shit or they're just releasing shit? There's a huge difference.
That's the whole notion about American Giants.
Oh, I love the Y files.
Smithsonian, et cetera, et cetera. There is definitely things that have been pulled out of the narrative, right? And we live in an era of information, and disinformation is a tool of propagandists, all right? So when they talk about we got to fight disinformation, it's the liars that say we got to fight this because they're going to discover we're lying like motherfuckers. So this whole notion of fighting disinformation is a lie because they're the cheating motherfuckers. They are the people that cheat. And they go, oh, you, my chaste partner, I know you're cheating on me because I cheat like a motherfucker. I just don't tell you.
I think you'd love, I don't know if you watch the Y files.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you, dude, the Y files are shit, dude.
Who was that fucking Neanderthal video? That was the
dude, that was crazy. And what about aisle 731? Like, that's where, dude, I had no idea. Like, they manufactured ticks over there that were unkillable. That was spreading. Dude, it was nuts.
There's a fucking horror movie plot right there, son.
Dude, they did it. That's what they were doing.
You're an artist. Have you ever done automatic writing?
Me? No, I never did
It's
that.
fun. It's a fun tool. It's fun to play with your subconscious. As I say with the silly hat.
Really
Do you
cool.
go into a trance?
Yeah.
Do you go into a trance when you're doing that?
Oh, totally. You that's part of the idea is you're letting your hand just start
homeboy meditates.
doing its thing and you lose your head. The whole
Like the alien hand syndrome, right? Where you just kind of let it do its thing. And then
when you're writing, let's say you're writing a story, don't you disappear into the act of writing the story?
Yeah. If I'm in the zone,
drawing, I'm gone. Or if you're writing
a
song,
No, I'll tell anybody, like painting is a form of meditation, and so is doing an intricate piece of artwork. Yeah. I mean, Matt should know this. I mean, Matt, like you get into it, like that's what I was trying to explain to my wife is that I can't just go to my desk and do it. You know what I'm saying? Like the atmosphere has to be right. Everything, like everything has to align so that I can just dive in.
Yeah. You guys heard of binaural beats?
Yes.
Okay, what it is interesting for the guys who have not heard of binaural beats, it has to do with different hertzes of frequencies.
Yes.
And you go at different frequencies, like you're going to go at 104 in this ear, and you're going to go at 114 in this ear, and in the middle, it puts together a third beat that happens. You want it on headphones, and it helps you focus. It's kind of like listening to a machine hum. And so I did that a lot on what I was working on, the Big Book of Dahmer. I just got that thing to print. It's collecting all 4 Dahmer books into one book. I restored all the artwork. I corrected all the artwork. It's 138 pages. It's at the printer right now. And it's all the Dahmer books. But I would use the binaural beats to get me in the zone to just focus and just do the graphic design, do the work, do the writing. And it was new for me because I'd always use music to program me and program my moods. But this was the first time I used music that was designed for focus.
My bass player, he wanted us, he made us start tuning to, what was it? It was like 432 hertz.
Yeah, 432 hertz. That's right.
That's because it's more in line with the vibration of the human body. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of
different hertz for different reactions. Fear, focus, meditation.
What's it called again? Binaural something or another?
Binaural beats. While we're talking, I can look it up. I've got it right here. It's on YouTube. You could find this stuff on YouTube.
I'm looking it up there right now.
Got them. There's a.
Because I find this shit fascinating.
There's a thing called 40 hertz page. 40 hertz, HZ, or hertz, whatever the thing is. Let me look.
Yeah, no, look, meditation is something that...
meditation is like... I don't know why doctors don't prescribe meditation.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know what it is? People are still afraid of it because they think, oh, this is going to be too much work. I can't concentrate.
They just don't want to face themselves.
That too, right?
Yeah.
But it's the only... Look, I'm not evangelical about my religion, about my faith.
Oh,
I'm
thank
not
God.
evangelical about... you're number one. I'm not...
I've always said you were too intelligent to be Catholic.
No, I mean, the one thing that I will try to fucking sell people on is meditation. That's the only thing. Because
all right, guys. So here's what it is. It is binaural beats. BINAURAL beats. The one that I go to is 40 hertz of focus. 40 HZ space of space focus FOCUS, and I use the music on here to literally help me focus and get work done. And I immediately. Okay, I immediately start to feel my eyelids flutter. Like when I plug it in and I have it on, like immediately my eyelids start to flutter on their own. They develop a thing. I'm like, oh.
Dude, seriously, ever since I had the thing with that, having to sell the house.
All right, let me make myself pretty. I see myself in the shop.
I haven't been able to be a productive writer again. It's like,
it'll happen. It's just that whenever you have huge changes, you have to settle into it. You know what I'm saying?
I know,
you can't...
but it's like it's taking me fucking forever just to do like a fucking 24-page script.
Well, let me ask you something. Like when you're writing, what are you surrounded by?
This room.
Okay, now what were you surrounded by when you were writing before? You were surrounded by all your books, your toys. You see what I'm saying? It was like the perfect environment for creativity. Yes. And you don't have that at the moment. The only thing you got is the 6-inch gorilla painting hanging above.
Changing your space changes.
But
you can see it. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to be like that has to be around you. Like you have to set a mood. You can't just.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's look.
That is the most unproductive room I've ever seen before in my life.
I've got a lot of shit on the walls, right? But the thing is I've got a spare room. I'm going to turn that.
I don't know, man. The coloring with the gray. You look like you're in prison. Like I'm doing
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. That's what.
I'm a cat.
I don't have a cat. That's the thing.
All right. I've got enough room for my futon, dude.
Brian, put me on full screen.
Bedroom,
gray. All the prison gray. Not good.
Put me on full screen, Brian.
All right.
This is my room.
Yeah.
Now look, hold on. This is what I'm facing every day.
Sweetness.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
That's where your creativity comes from. Like you have to.
I don't have that.
You know?
Yeah. So, but I mean, that's the thing is I realized like this year, I'm going to concentrate on two things. One is just just trying to get back to myself. And the other thing, fucking bust IPs and make fucking comics.
Exactly. Yeah.
Try to concentrate on that. And then once the books start coming out, that's going to give me a big boost to my mood. I'm going to have some income coming in too. That would be really nice. Been trying to order a new computer. Once I get that's all I need is a computer, desk, and cat, and I'll be good to go.
What kind of computer did you get?
A gaming computer, because I'm going to use it mostly for word processing. And
how much?
I'm going to do it mostly for word processing, but I better get a gaming computer. Are you kidding me? I'm going to get a computer to really facilitate my masturbation.
I need my fucking video games, dude. I need a
jack chair.
I need to play like Dead by Daylight.
Go about writing. I'm really going to get a lot of writing done.
The shape.
I got gaming.
Fucking Pinhead.
I got a gaming computer in my closet that I'm not using.
You know,
It's got about a
high-speed
terabyte of
video
memory.
relay for my writing. I need a special high-speed internet connection for my writing.
I said
a lot of writing on this computer. Yeah, that's what's going on there, Brian.
I got my old.
baby.
I got my old gaming computer in my closet.
That's the one thing I'm going to treat myself to. Is a gaming computer.
I got to book you guys. I'll see you next time. It was fun.
You going to do your show tonight?
Yeah.
We'll be there.
Send me a link.
Yeah. Wait, hold on.
Now that he's freshly shaved, he's got his man key.
He's got
to go do his.
Fuck you for the Napster community.
Oh, thanks for having me on, man. You guys can find me at Rootcutter Comic on Twitter. You can check out my channel if you want. It's Metal Movies and Brewskis, and we're going to be having on Narwhal tonight talking about his book,
Yes.
3 Part 2.
Love that, dude.
And that we're coming on in a few minutes. And if you guys want to support me and my channel, you can pick up my books, Butch Cleaver 1 and 2 at butchcleaver.com. It's a gothic horror western about a butcher who gets killed and he's brought back to life by a voodoo curse, and that curse gives him the power to weaponize bone with a single thought. Again, thanks, Brian. I appreciate it, brother.
You got
nice
it,
to
man.
see you again, Hart. Preston, it's always a pleasure hanging out with you guys.
We're going to wrap it up here. We're going to wrap it up here, and then we're going to raid your channel.
Sweet. Sounds good.
Go
watch Death Machine, everybody.
Good movie.
For sure. Definitely deserves more attention than it's gotten. And I would rather watch this than a fucking Marvel movie any fucking day.
Dude, I've been diving into classic movies because I'm so fed up with what's coming out now. Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's
the filmmaking opens up. Like, it's not all just close up, digital effect. These have a reality and an atmosphere that you could understand as a human being.
Yes.
You could feel yourself walking down the hallway versus green screen.
Yep. It looks more like the real thing because it is the real thing.
And honestly, the monster's pretty scary.
It is. It is for sure.
But the monster's really scary. It's the jaw, And I like that they said, like, oh, well, it's designed to break morale. There was a really smart psychology behind this film, not just, oh, we got a good monster that's stainless steel.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, check. And speaking of that monster, let me run this final clip from Death Machine. Everybody, just so you know, if you're just coming in, you can watch this movie completely for free, unedited, by clicking on the link below in the description. And
there weren't any commercial interruptions. It just played.
Yep. Now, this is fantastic, right? I love how they create this monster with a combination of miniatures or bigatures and animatronics.
Hey, Shoryuken.
Evidently, that's a reference to the Street Fighter video game. Now, how small do you think these bullets are?
How come nothing's ricocheting back and killing them?
It's like these are maybe even packing. These must have smaller bullets than even the guns in the Starship Troopers movie. It's like the barrel would be melting by now. But that's the nature of this movie. It goes overboard. Yeah, and also I wish I had a clip of it when he goes toe to toe with this thing and starts fucking boxing it. That's fucking amazing.
You know what else is with me, man?
It's like 5 minutes later and they're still shooting it.
Brian is like Albert Pyun's Nemesis with Jean-Claude Van Damme. Nemesis? Albert Pyun, P-Y-U-N.
Oh, that's not
I remember that.
Olivier Gruner.
Yeah, Olivier Grunier. That's who it was, Olivier Grunier.
Yes, that movie's awesome. But not as well made as something like this. He's just beating beating on that fucking girder.
Now we move.
Now we move. That fucking monster looks badass, dude.
Right?
It looks like an alien queen a little bit, like a robotic alien queen.
And I love the description. It's a frontline morale breaker. Right? If you're on a battlefield and you see that shit coming at you,
oh yeah,
and the crazy thing is,
like total.
This is inevitable.
Frontline morale breaker. That they're so smart in their dialogue. They keep giving you details that they don't show you, which is what you want to do as a writer. Like, okay, either show us or give us something that's not on screen.
Yes, absolutely.
Fight. Shoryuken.
But yeah, clearly that's like a homage to Predator. Oh, have you ever seen Bruno Mattei's Robo War? Have you seen that piece of shit?
Oh, I'm sorry, but I play the version with the Thai subtitles on American I believe, Vincent.
Dude, that's why I love your channel. You'll do shit like that. You'll do shit like that.
We play Robo War. One of the only ways I could get that film for the channel was to get the Thai version because it wasn't originally released here. Or his other film, Night Killer, which has got a guy in like a Freddy Krueger rubber mask.
That's
same director. I think it's Claudio Fragasso on that one.
Oh, Fragasso. Yeah, Fragasso is like, to me, Fragasso was, I mean, look, not that he didn't produce some entertaining movies, but that guy, that's when Italian cinema ended. So it was the end of the golden age. It was the end of the golden age starting with Fragasso.
No, look, you still got Bava's The Church.
That's not. Oh well, Lamberto Bava. Yeah, and that's
in the 80s. It's after the Demon series. No, the Golden Age kept going, man. They still kept going. They still kept doing cool, crazy stuff way into the 90s.
Occasionally, yeah. No, Wax Mask, for instance. I thought that was pretty good.
Or is Delamorte Spanish?
Delamorte. Yeah, and since then, it's like nothing. It's like the Italian movie industry is like the Chinese movie industry. They're not doing anything that's like.
I don't know, man. I'd have to do the research on that one because I think they're still in there. I think the Spaniards came in like record.
No, yeah, I mean, right now it's Korea. That's fucking like basically eating our breakfast.
I think the Spaniards are still making some really good stuff.
Alex de la Iglesia. That dude's fucking awesome. I always say Alex de la Iglesia is the director that Tarantino wishes he was.
I love Day of the Beast.
I've been wanting to do that for a while. Preston, you would love that because that movie's very metal related.
Which one?
Dude, Day of the Beast. So good.
Day of the Beast.
It's all about a priest who is trying to stop the end of the world with the rebirth of the devil, and he has to sin every day. So he's like burning crosses in his feet with cigarette butts, and he gets involved with this metal store, death metal guy.
Yes, because he goes into like a death metal record shop to be like
stop motion effects. It's really clever.
Yeah, it's great.
Great director.
Yeah.
Totally got to see that.
That's a good idea for the next horror movie that we do.
Oh yeah,
dude, Day of the Beast.
Day of the Beast. Yeah,
it's really good. I know it's out there.
I'll see if there's a dubbed version because we don't want.
Since you threw the gauntlet down, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna look up like modern Italian horror films because I know there's a bunch. And I'm currently working with several bands in Italy. We work with the Designs and Snavone, and so they've been doing a lot of killer music videos on American Horrors for Groovy TV. And we gave her an award.
From Italy.
Yeah, in Italy
as well. Milano.
Snovone, Snovone. And then the new band's called The Designs. And she directed a couple of music videos for this insane, awesome Hungarian metal band called Interfere. And we play both their videos on the network. We play a lot of music videos from people around the world.
I am always about discovering new shit, right? And that's the thing. It's like right now we're at a time, I think, where there's fly shit out there, but you're not going to know what to check out until like 15, 20 years later. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, that helps with like these kinds of shows, like shows like yours or my show on American Horrors, not mine, but the Gorecast guys from Ireland.
I love those kinds of
that helps to figure out. Like, I'll watch the show and I'll go, "Ooh, I'm going to check that out." Oh man, the guys like this.
Yeah,
and you learn that your taste matches the hosts of the show.
Right. That's what film critics are for. They're basically consumer reporters.
Yeah.
Right. So you find the ones that you kind of vibe with, right? Mm-hmm. Mark Kermode, I like. He used to write for Fangoria. It's become a little bit of a SJW kind of, but but like the British version, not like ours. Which
SJW, what is that?
No.
SJW, Social Justice Warrior.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway. We are going to wrap it up, people, because we need to go over and support our buddy Matt, and also Narwhal's going to be there. I actually just finished reading a book of his. Got to fucking throw some kudos at him. But before we cut out, Preston, tell these people where they can find.
I got this in the mail. The new Paragon. Oh, like they finally fulfilled. Yeah, and they were very generous. Like, they sent me a ton of these.
Really?
And, I forgot what this cover looked like. It's been so long.
Oh my God. No, me too. I remember seeing the pencils for that.
Yeah.
Dude, it's been that long?
That's been a while. I mean, it was like when all this stuff first kicked off. It was back in 2020, 2021.
Oh my God.
Like it was about 4 years ago. Yeah.
Man.
But they fulfilled, and they sent me a ton of cops to go with it. Which,
nice. No, always a cool thing to do. But once again, ask you the fucking question: where can these people find you?
Right here.
No, motherfucker.
At my house. I live.
Bastard. Hart, tell these folks where they can find you. And why
Let
they
me
should
help
be
you out,
watching
Preston, as a professional person on television. Hi, I'm Hart T. Fisher from American Horrors. You can find me on Facebook.com under Hart T. Fisher, or American Horrors, or Boneyard Press 2020. You can also find us online at AmericanHorrors.net. But my favorite place to watch American Horrors, the world's greatest uncut linear streaming 24/7 horror TV channel, streaming free worldwide, is on Roku. Use channel code AMHOR. Don't get dirty on me, folks. AMHOR, AMHOR. Use that code word to add our app for free on Roku, or watch at AmericanHorrors.net. And support us by buying our new books. I've got the new Poems for the Dead hardcover. I've got the new An American Horror Story true crime memoir, plus all the great outlaw comics you've heard about on the much maligned cartoonist Kayfabe. I'm Hart T. Fisher. It's a pleasure to be here. And you can find me on the air as the host of American Horrors, all day, all night, all horror.
Thanks, Hart. Thanks for hanging out, dude. It's always awesome when you can drop in. It's just the problem is if you're baked and I'm baked at the same time, we're just gonna fucking yammer over each other because our minds are running a fucking million miles an hour. But yeah,
unfortunately, I'm not baked. I wish I was.
See, I didn't know that I was at a disadvantage. Compromised. But yeah, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Next week is going to be the Spaghetti Western Jamboree, and the movie is going to be, I haven't decided yet. I'm thinking maybe Compañeros or possibly The Mercenary. But then again, that's Corbucci.
How about The Great Silence?
That's not that's the one I've been wanting to do, and that's
The Great Silence.
It's not on any free streaming platform.
It's not Klaus Kinski?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, that's the that's the best non-Leone spaghetti. It's
pretty damn good.
It's incredible.
It really
incredible movie. Yeah. I got to see the restoration at the Alamo Draft House, which was fucking awesome. That's a great dude. Trust me, I want to do that one really, really, really bad. Am I going to see you guys over at Matt's?
You won't see me. I'm going to make dinner and eat some food. Okay. I might be busy eating some pussy. We'll see.
Oh, snap. God bless you, sir.
Yeah, but she's probably dead. Like,
oh snap!
No, they don't make any noise then. That's no fun.
Oh god!
Just take a heating blanket and you're good to go.
We're going to hell. Well, don't you think like sex robots are going to be like a boon for like necrophiliacs, or you think it's because they're?
I don't know, dude. I mean,
it's funny that you brought that up because I said that I was at the CBD store today and I was talking about how the real doll was just training people to fuck corpses. I'm like, why would you want that? Why would you ever want that? You're gonna have to get your own lube. You have to clean out the orifices, and it's training you to fuck a thing that never had a soul. It never had a soul. I've been talking about that with the girlfriend. The same thing about.
Well, they can make them get up and walk around and talk and shit.
Strap-on never goes down. Dude. My strap-on never goes down. Yeah, it's a dead penis. It's never been alive. It's dead. It's an inanimate object. Of course it goes down. So you're training yourself to fuck a dead cock versus having a live cock filled with pumping blood that's alive and full of oxygen and life.
That's metal, dude.
Thing and it's real.
This is why
Slayer train yourself to think the dead is better than the living.
Dude, this is why Slayer.
See, you get me all hot and bothered right now.
Got necrophilia on like every record.
Doc Salem's got to go get down. He's got to jam a dead phallus up his ass and go fuck a corpse. All right.
All right, we love you, Hart. We'll talk to you soon. Everybody, until next time, peace, soul, and metal.
And dead cocks.